Okay, it's that time of day again for another snack food quickie. Today it's going to be Ritz crackers, hot honey flavored. Now, the hot honey thing, I'm going to touch on that. I'm going to give a shout out to the Kandyman, who can be seen on The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS and on Spill the Geek Tea, because he seems to have been some sort of a clairvoyant when it came to predicting the trends of hot honey. But first, let's take a look at what we're going to be trying here. Ritz crackers. Okay, everybody has seen Ritz crackers anywhere in the world. One of the most famous and recognizable brands ever. What you may not know is this round blue logo was designed by a gentleman who was inspired by a label inside of his hat. And that was back in the 1930s. But going back even further, going back to the early 1900s and an unknown year, uh, Ritz crackers were originally called Jackson, and that is Jaxon crackers. Uh, there was a company called the Jackson Cracker Company of Jackson, Michigan, that developed a small round cracker, which they called the Jackson. And then that company was bought by Nabisco in 1919. And then Nabisco went on to release the Ritz crackers in 1934 in a canister such as this. Now, this being such a well known brand, the best way to describe them is the original style crackers are shaped like a disc. They're lightly salted and they're about 1.8 inches in diameter. And if you haven't noticed, every single one of your Ritz crackers has 7 holes in the cracker. And you can see that here on the pack. Well, you can see 5 of them. But if you've never noticed, there are 7 holes in each Ritz cracker, and that is to allow steam to escape while they're being made. Now, there's no known canisters to exist from 1934. This one here is a canister from 1984 that was released on the 50th anniversary of Ritz crackers. Now, a little more history is the year 1939. You'll see a animated drawing here of Ritz crackers with a famous mouse. That was during a short film at the New York World's Fair, which ran from 1939 to 1940. So, turning up the clock to 2025, a strange thing happened. Right here, the Kandyman, in his sweet British perspective, asked on a Spill the Geek Tea episode, which you can find right here on YouTube. I'll put a link to the channel below. It's a fun talk show. We talk about food, as all geeks should. He said, has anybody ever tried honey on pizza? Now, I had never even heard of honey on pizza, but apparently it was a thing in England. And right after Kandyman asked that question, would you believe that all of the sudden hot honey spread out all across America? It wasn't the first time. It happened in the early 1980s with Mike's Hot Honey, but it was a massive resurgence that it ended up in everything you can possibly imagine. These right here from Colorado, Boulder Canyon limited edition Mike's Hot Honey chips, which I'll be trying soon. Pringles even got on the bandwagon with hot honey. But the Ritz ones don't specifically say Mike's Hot Honey. So let's go ahead and get these things open and see what they taste like. This is a 13.7 ounce package or 388 grams. Ritz was involved in a little bit of a controversy as recent as last year, where the BBC took note of the fact that the 200-gram packages were suddenly just 150 grams, and you guessed it, they were the same price. So BBC referred to that as an example of shrinkflation. So the package it's not terribly easy to open. Now, I've mentioned this before, and I think it's worth noting as often as possible. I'm not saying that everything in Japan is better, but in Japan, you will never find a difficult to open food package. And the reason being, if it's hard to open, the consumers refuse to buy it. And I wish that my fellow Americans would take the same stance and just quit buying stuff that's hard to open, because until we do, that's not going to change. So there are 4 tubes inside of here. Before tasting these, I want to take a look at the nutritional information and the ingredients. Here's the nutritional information off the side of the box. I'm always looking for sodium. Oh, this is not bad. These are lightly salted. 100 milligrams or 4% of the RDA. There are about 24 servings per container, and a serving size is, only 5 crackers or 18 grams? Okay, here's the ingredients. Unbleached, enriched flour, which is wheat flour, niacin, reduced iron, thiamine mononitrate, which is B1, riboflavin, B2, folic acid, soybean and or canola oil, which would be whatever was cheapest at the time, since Nabisco is a for-profit company, so they would be using what is cheapest at the time. Then it has sugar, palm oil, leavening, which is calcium phosphate, baking soda, salt. And then they have honey, soy lecithin, and then chili pepper. Doesn't say what kind of chili pepper. Then it has natural flavor and has honey powder and monk fruit extract. And then annatto extract for color. And annatto is what makes your American cheddar cheese orange. Contains wheat and soy, and it contains a bioengineered food ingredient, and they don't tell us which one. Come on, Mondelez International that owns these. Can't you just tell us what's bioengineered? There's a QR code if anybody wants to see where that takes you. Would that tell us what's bioengineered? If there's something bioengineered, why not just say what it is? Here's your vague statement. Natural flavor with other natural flavors. Well, you know what? I was wondering about the other natural flavor, not the, or which one are they referring to? The other one or the other one? What does that even mean? Natural flavor with other natural flavor. Can you have natural flavor and other natural flavor with an additional other natural flavor? Okay, I'm getting confused. And did you know that you can simply twist and reclose the package? Well, my God, it comes with a physics lesson. All right, so let's, we can twist to close them. Let's see how hard they are to open. Yeah, it doesn't open very evenly or easily. I feel like I'm going to drop and spill these. Oops. Don't spill the crackers. All right. So, there. I burned a lot of calories just trying to get this thing open. All right, so here's what one looks like. This right here is a Ritz. You will see your characteristic 7 holes. So now you know. I'm getting honey on the nose, and the aroma is not natural honey. I suspect it's the honey powder that they're using. Can you even buy honey powder? Seriously? It said that, didn't it? Yeah. Honey, soy lecithin, chili pepper, natural flavor, and honey powder. Has anybody ever seen honey powder? Let me know in the comments below. Yeah, I think they smell like honey powder. Okay, let's see what they taste like. The texture is really chalky and dry, and it has me wanting to look for my tea. It's chalky and dry, and I'm getting artificial honey. Very unusual. The word unusual comes to mind. Okay, so wow, there is no way these are going to need to be donated. There is no way that I could eat a whole package of these. That's the heat is there. I wish it was specific as to what type of chili uh, powder is being used, but they can't even tell us where it's being made. I like more transparency with my foods. It's distributed by Mondelez Global LLC in East Hanover, New Jersey. Where was it made? I don't want to know where it was distributed by. Was this made in New Jersey or was it made in China? How can you even tell? Was it made on the moon? I mean, it doesn't say. So I'm going to give these a rating of 5.5 out of 10. They're just slightly a notch better than just plain Ritz crackers. Um, but I can't say that I care for the artificial honey flavor. In fact, I don't think I've ever tasted artificial honey flavor knowingly. Um and I wish that this food told me where it came from. I just simply like to know where my food comes from. So yeah, I'm going to settle in on a 5.5 out of 10 as being just slightly above average for being slightly unique. And the heat is building, and I believe if I ate 5 or 10 of these, it would have a nice, impressive heat level. So I'm kind of like, maybe a 6. Well, for kindness, we'll settle in as a 6. So that's it for this one today. If you guys like videos like this, be sure to subscribe because I enjoy doing them, and there's a bunch more of them to come, that's for sure. Until next time, enjoy your snack food tasting, and peace out from San Francisco.